Welcome back to the Queens of the North podcast. We are going to week 7. I'm Gabby DePaula along with Drew Jones. What question marks everywhere around the league. I feel like Steelers, Ravens versus Giants, Steelers and the Buccaneers. You can stop being happy over there.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah, the sun's shining in California. It's pretty much raining here.
At this point, I don't choose to live in other states.
Weird weekend. It's funny. I was texting my cousin. She obviously, I'm obsessed with doing DraftKings. It's a lot of fun. I don't do it during the off season, anyways. And we're talking about like what players she should drop, who she should add. And I told her, I said, I don't know really what to tell you because the NFL is so up in the air this year. Of course, there's one AFC front runner that I think we saw on Sunday. Or one or two, but I think there's a number one that we kind of saw week 1 that was really dominating and still dominated since then. But I told her, I was like, the NFL is such a toss up this year.
Yeah, it's been quite weird. I was talking about this with like some of our writers at BR, and I mean, like looking at like the Packers last couple of losses, it's like, whoa, they're normally a very dominant squad. Obviously, everybody picked the Bucs to win over the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Hello, you got Tom Brady and you got weapons like Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. So yeah, it's been definitely it's honestly like you go into a game and it's like, I should just pick the opposite of who I think is going to win at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Jets. I was indifferent about the Jets winning. I thought they would definitely put up a game. I think it was going to be a good game between the two because we keep thinking about Aaron Rodgers from the past, and Aaron Rodgers this year and his team this year just aren't. It's not the same Packers.
He doesn't have anyone to throw to.
That and his offensive line sucks, and his defense is pretty much helping them. Has been dominating them at pretty much this entire year, I feel like. But watching them, it's just not the same Packers that we saw in the NFC last year going to, competing for an NFC championship game. So what a toss up, man.
I know.
I'm happy. I was telling my coworker this week, I'm happy the Ravens got through the Jets because if the Ravens played the Jets coming up later in the season, I don't think they would win.
Yeah, we already lost to them, so we're good.
Yeah, Ravens went 1-0 against
there you go.
Their week 1 win, and seems like the wins this year are they're not coming through as we thought they would. They are not dominating wins. I went on radio this week, Baltimore radio, and said the Ravens are going to dominate the Giants. Boy, was I wrong. Was I wrong.
You did say last week that they were going to expose the Giants. I mean, NFC East, are they real?
I don't know if they're real. I'm still not a big believer in the whole Daniel Jones thing.
My cousin.
Yeah, right. True. And Daniel Jones. I am not convinced it's him. I'm more convinced about the head coach, Brian Dable. That's more. And then Wink Martindale, who, I mean, his defense has been dominating. I think it was great for him personally, leaving the Ravens and going to the Giants, because now we are seeing the old Wink Martindale from 2019, 2020 kind of come back in gear.
Yeah, I mean, Dabble's like, he did a little Ted Lasso celebration a few weeks ago. So yeah, he's leading the charge, and it's kind of cool to see a competitive NFC East. I mean, looking at, the Cowboys, they're supposed to be America's team, like the Eagles, they did win a Super Bowl in 2018, and then it was just like fell off completely after that. So I don't know. I like to see competitiveness regardless of like.
Absolutely. I mean, it's fun. Again, like the NFL this year is just such a toss up. I don't think the Ravens were favored by, I think it was 3. I think they were -3 last week. This week, I think they're -5.
So they didn't cover.
No.
Sadness. Okay.
Should we end this right now? I was so angry. Just the last drive of the game, Lamar's turnovers. He looked like the playoff Lamar that we used to see back in 2018, 2019, when he had several turnovers. The offensive line was not gelling. He looked frightened in the pocket. He looked like he was just kind of his last the last drive when he threw that interception, throwing to Patrick Ricard with several Giants defenders around him. What are you doing? You should have threw it out of bounds. Like, forget that play. They were 3rd and 6. You're going to go for it on 4th down.
It was like half not his fault, only because there was a really bad snap. You know,
I don't think it was a high snap though. I think
it was low. Like he almost fumbled it, right?
Low, sure. Low. I'll say it's low. Yeah, 3rd and 6, low-ish snap. Wasn't anything crazy though. I was rewatching it before coming on here. Something that I think he could have handled, and I think he was just too nervous getting a 1st down.
Right.
I also didn't like that play. I was rewatching it before coming on here, and it looked like they were trying to make they were trying to run a screen. Mark Andrews, Pat Ricard were out blocking. Looks like I really don't. I was trying to make what I thought it was. It looked like a screen. I don't know if I would have ran a screen on 3rd and 6 with everything kind of going on. Not the best play calling. I felt like in that game, the Ravens really got away from what they do best. So
right. Yeah, it was like looking on paper, it seemed like a pretty even keeled matchup, but also like the run game was pretty exceptional. Maybe like sticking with that game plan through to the end of the game. Like,
yeah,
Ravens this season have been pretty notorious for blowing the game in the 4th quarter. I mean, you're up by 10 points, so, and then you give up 14 points to Daniel Jones with 6 minutes left,
How does this happen? I mean, 3 games where they've been up, they've been winning, they've been dominating. They only gave up 250 yards, I think, on defense. The Ravens have over 400 on offense. How does that, add up to a loss?
Right.
It's just nuts. We were talking about before coming on here again, like you said, the Ravens should win on Sunday. I said, what? After watching them against the Giants, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know because Ravens have played the Browns obviously for years. They know what they're going to play. The Browns know the Ravens. They're all very familiar with each other. Kevin Stefanski knows what Lamar's going to pull. They're playing against some of the same players that they've seen over the past couple of years. So it's going to be Sunday. Ravens are favored at home, but I don't know.
Yeah, the Browns over the weekend though, got whooped by the Patriots by their 3rd string quarterback. I don't know. I'm loving Bailey Zapp though. He's killing it. Going for 2 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Also the Patriots had 3 rushing touchdowns. So looking at the Browns, and their defense is just not capable. So that's why I think that the Ravens will beat the Browns.
A good point.
Even the Ravens run game is just almost unparalleled, because you have such an athletic QB in Lamar. He's going to run for anywhere from 70 to over 100 yards. And then, Kenyon Drake had an incredible game over the weekend, over 100 yards. So, if they can keep that style of run game, they're going to roll over the Browns.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's still AFC North. AFC North games competing against each other. You never know.
Hey, I'm down for some helmet throwing, I'm down.
Yeah. I remember the Ravens playing the Bengals and the Browns. Everyone and watching that in college and thinking we could lose this game because we're playing AFC North teams. It's just competition's different. It's edgier, people are playing, or players are playing with a chip on the shoulder. It's a different game. And it has been, I think it always will be, which is fun. It's a lot of fun. That's why the Ravens Steelers rivalry is so fun, because it's chippy, it's edgy. It's always between those 2 teams it's between those 2 teams winning the AFC North. So we'll see what Ravens and Browns bring. Kenny Pickett, however, how did you think he did this weekend? Obviously he's concussed. We'll see what that protocol is. I think right now, if it's an in-game where he even looks like he might have a concussion, I think they're automatically out. I think they kind of change that without really putting that into without really saying it after the whole Tua incident.
Yeah, I definitely think, because watching the game, watching the replay, I didn't feel like he hit his head super hard on the ground when he took that pretty big hit. I was like, oh, maybe he just has a stinger or, kind of got the wind knocked out of him or something like that. But I think the spotters, I'm sure, were like, hey, yeah, you got to pull him from the game. Because even when he got up, like you can kind of like tell right away sometimes when somebody has a concussion, they like, look like, whoa, like where the hell am I?
And like a little bit.
He like looked like he had all his faculties. I wasn't there, but from what it looked like on television, I was like, did he really have a concussion? But understandably, we're trying to like keep players safe, make sure we don't repeat what happened with Tua. So I get it. And like aside from the concussion aspect of it, he got his first passing touchdown. Wasn't an incredible performance by him by any means, but then Mitch Trubisky came in. He did his job as a backup quarterback. That's what he's supposed to do. But I'm with Tomlin with, keeping stability. Kenny is QB1. If he can go, he's going to go. If not, we'll have Mitch in there.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just been, I think it's nice for Kenny to kind of get that off, the monkey off his back. He has first passing touchdown against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Like obviously the Buccaneers and Tom for that matter don't look the same. I saw a stat today. Tom Brady by this time last year, he had 17 touchdowns.
Dang.
Yeah. This year he has 8 right now, 8.
Missing Gronk obviously a little
doesn't
bit.
Look like the same. Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. By 50% doesn't look like the same Tom. But I think that's kind of nice to have a little, that's good for Kenny Pickett as a rookie quarterback. So good for him. Good for them. Can't wait for them to play the Ravens, and the Ravens are going to kill him. But no, I think that's good for QB1. It's good for the AFC North. It's good for the Steelers organization.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because I was seeing a lot of, tweets like, Tom Brady hasn't lost to many rookie quarterbacks, in his entire career and stuff. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, like it's different. Like I'm going to bring up baseball again. Like if a reliever comes in and the runs change and stuff, then the reliever is going to get the win. So it's interesting to me, like with football, it's like, yeah, Kenny got the start. He played, 2.5 quarters and then Mitch came in and blah, blah.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, technically Mitch won that game, right? Just from a statistical standpoint, but that's not how like football stats work.
No.
So, but hey, yeah, definitely, a W and a W for Kenny.
I saw Ben Roethlisberger also said yesterday on some TV show, I think it was The Herd, that he thinks Tom Brady looks different. I mean, him and Tom have been playing with each other for the entire league pretty much together. And he said Tom Brady does not look the same. Said he doesn't. I think it's safe to say this is probably Tom's last year. You never want to go out. You never want the NFL to kind of force you out, right? You want to kind of go out on your own terms, but it looks like maybe the Tom Brady era might be ending this year, or, knowing Tom, how his competitiveness works, come back next year and try it again. But
he's also not doing what needs, like what other quarterbacks are doing, like he went to Robert Kraft's wedding on
all that
Thursday or Friday or whatever it was. Didn't even do the walkthrough with the team.
All that
flies in his private jet. Like, that's a Dennis Rodman style weekend. I'm going to go over here and party, and then I'll meet y'all at the game and we'll see what happens.
If they were winning, I think it'd look different because you're like, Tom does Tom. We're winning. Like, why would we complain? But they're losing.
Right.
After all the drama with, over the off season, and then Bruce Arians, kind of stepping down or whatever you want to call it, all that drama. It's like, Tom, like, what are we doing here? Questions.
Yeah. It's not uncommon for like veteran players, like not just Tom Brady, but veterans to not practice sometimes during the week because they need that extra time to rest. So like, I get it, but like not going through walkthroughs with your team. And then like, I mean, did you see him yelling at his offensive line? Oh my, first of all, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, but
fine. I thought it was fine. I was like, you you're the leader of the team. You got to bring everyone together. I don't really mind it. I don't know if that was the OC that was standing right there. That was just like, yeah, what he said. I'm with him. I'm with that guy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That was great though. Those are fun things for the fans to see. I'm sure. I'm sure the Bucks are like, crap, here we are.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll move on. Great performance by the Steelers and their defense.
Yeah.
I hate saying it, but I like being realistic, and it was. They beat Tom Brady and the Bucks. Moving on, Lamar's growth. Where do you see him? Do you see him growing? Do you see him backpedaling? I'm kind of thinking about this whole contract situation after this game. He doesn't look like he earns a Deshaun Watson contract right now.
Ooh, I know, right? It's like, I mean, like, we know Lamar's potential, though. I think that's the thing. Like, he's already been an MVP before, and he's still so young. Like, he's still very much in his prime. Like, yeah, he made a couple mistakes, and that happens because, like, football players are human at the end of the day. But I mean, from here, last game did not play very well, made some considerable mistakes, interception, fumble, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But moving forward through the remainder of the season, like, I see him improving.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I was kind of checking out his Twitter. I think when he's 25, I believe, and around his age, we kind of put our emotions on our sleeve, right? Like, we tweet our stuff, we favorite, those like deep quotes and stuff, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you and I are all the time.
Yeah, you and I are in our late 20s, but watching, seeing his Twitter, he kind of seemed like he felt beaten a little bit, right? That's kind of what I saw, some of the stuff that he kind of favored, liked, whatever you want to call it, that he was tweeting out. Lamar, I think after watching this game, there was a ton of questions because, I mean, I'm not at the game this year. I'm not covering it as like I used to in previous years, but we just talked about Tom Brady, telling his offensive line, like, get your crap together, get it together. Lamar, I don't see that from Lamar, and he's more of a he leads by his actions rather than his words, but sometimes his actions are very questionable in the game. So that has been, watching those turnovers, I was kind of comparing him to the whole Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen thing, because Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes know if he's getting rushed, if he's getting pressure, they know to throw it out of bounds. Lamar, I have been saying this since he's been in the league, throw it out of bounds. 3rd and 6, you're trying to make a play. It's not working. Everyone else has several defenders on them. Pat Ricard, who was somehow they had him running out. Again, I thought it was a screen, some kind of screen that they were trying to run. Mark Andrews was double teamed, almost triple teamed. Questions on the play, but also Lamar, you see some of your players, your receiving core out there being double, triple teamed. What are you doing? You throw it out of bounds and you try to go for it on 4th and 6. It's happened before. Ravens used to be pretty good on 4th down. Like, what are we doing? Let's go for it. Do not try to make a play when you know it's probably not going to be successful.
Or also, just trust in your defense. Like, I think at that point in the game, there might have still been around 2 minutes left. Not sure how many timeouts there were, but, punt it so that, like, you're not throwing it away. And then all of a sudden, like, they're in the red zone and now you're down 24-20 trying to, like, scramble back,
Yeah.
So have trust in your defense that they're going to get you the ball back.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just was sloppy on all parts with the offense. I felt like, defense did their part for majority of it. Offense just, they slipped right through. And watching Lamar, the turnover, which he hasn't really done many this year, and then the interception, you kind of sit back and you're like, do you want that contract? Do you want that contract? And some of those games that they've lost aren't really his fault. He can't put up 4 or 5 touchdowns a game every game. Defense has got to do something, right? The Miami game, that was not his fault, right? I mean, although I felt like if the offense is jiving, it's kind of like, defense can't get it done off, Lamar, you're ahead of the offense. That's when you go, all right, defense isn't working. Let's get this rolling. Let's get this win,
Right.
In that way. That's at least how I would take it, or I feel like other players would take it. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, old Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, increase the football IQ.
Now, yeah, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's almost like there's no drive there in a way. That's kind of how I feel right now. At least watching that game, I have a lot of questions about Lamar right now.
That sucks. That sucks. I can feel your pain. I have lots of questions about Mitch Trubisky, but at least I have Kenny Pickett.
Hey, you guys got the win. I think, what are you guys, 3-3 now?
No.
3-4.
We're 2-4. You're 3-3.
2-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 3-3. 2-4. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Pittsburgh is slowly inching its way back. Honestly, though, while the team's not very good, there's some games we shouldn't have lost. You know what I mean? So we should be
right.
We should be like, I would say 4-2, but neither here nor there. But and last point about the Ravens, your man Justin Tucker.
Oh God.
Missed a field goal. He's human after all.
He is human. It's funny because the Sunday night game, when he made that field goal, he looked at the crowd and was like kind of like pointing at myself, like, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Yeah.
56-yarder.
I know.
In New York.
Yeah.
Not the man. Not that time.
However, not that day.
He is human. I think, he missed the PAT earlier in the season, missed this field goal. He only gets better when he misses. He really does.
Right. Throws a chip on his shoulder,
It does. Like, he's very much in tune with the game, in tune with his kicking, whether it's a PAT or a field goal. So I trust Justin Tucker. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, honestly. And 56 yards is a long field goal. It's not like it was like a 35-yarder or something like that. Like 56 is a long one.
I think he likes that pressure, though. The 56-yarder, that's like his thing.
I'm with it. I want to see more Stellies.
He said,
start making them, bro.
He said, I'll be the guy. Sure, no problem. No.
Well, what about our Bengals? Well, not our Bengals, but the Bongles.
Bongles. Hey, I was happy for Joe Burrow. I wasn't sure how they were going to show up against New Orleans. New Orleans isn't great. They're rebuilding, obviously, this year. New coach. I wouldn't say new quarterback, healthy.
Yeah, weird quarterback situation, of course.
Yeah. But he had 3 touchdowns. I think a rushing touchdown. Like he balled out. He did his job.
Oh yeah.
Was not expecting that from Joe Burrow just because it's just been hot and cold with him all year. But man, hey, they got the win too.
The old stomping grounds, you know what I mean? Going into New Orleans, him and Jamar Chase, and
it's like
playing
a home game
for
for
relatives. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, home game for him.
Got all the LSU fans showing up. I'm with it.
I'm with it too. I think he wore his LSU jersey. I
think he wore Jamar's LSU jersey.
You're right. It was Jamar's. Jamar Chase's LSU jersey.
Hey, that's some homage right there.
Hey, I like it. Great colors too.
You like the purple and yellow, don't you?
Sure. I like it.
Yeah, Jamar made a ridiculous cut. It was funny because they were down.
He had 2 touchdowns this week.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns, 130 some odd yards. New Orleans was leading into the fourth quarter, so Bengals came back. So it wasn't like they had a crazy dominant performance, but they had a great comeback win. But yeah, Burrow with 3 touchdowns. That's 3 passing touchdowns. Did he rush one in too?
Yeah, I thought I saw somewhere, but
over 300 yards, 25 yards on the ground for him. I will say though, like looking at the box score, they didn't really have a run game.
Yeah.
Like they pretty much were all passing, which is, that's great. That's what you pay your quarterback for.
They really don't this year though, like in general.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like he literally used 8 different receivers over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, hey, keep it going. You gotta do what works. I think that's also an issue that like Ravens have a really great run game. So you got to do what works. Steelers don't have a great run game right now. So we need to pass the ball more. So it's all just like, do what you're good at and then you win.
Is that how it works?
It's that simple.
It's that simple. The NFL, it's that simple.
Yeah. Chiefs, Bills. We were talking about who's the front runner in the AFC. We had a lot of questions coming into week 6.
We can do that.
And now I'm thinking the Bills are the big dogs.
You know what? And I said that week 1, and I told some of my coworkers that. I said, look at the Bills this year. Their defense is all together. They got great DBs. Some of them are injured, but they're coming back. Offensive line's driving. They lost a few too. Josh Allen is a different animal and has mad hops. NBA is looking at him like, okay, nice.
Yeah, great hurdle there.
Great hurdle. Love it. I love his enthusiasm for the game.
Okay, but the throwing up situation, let's just talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
I am more of a PGS person. PGS, pregame, SHIT.
Got it.
And I mean, I've definitely had teammates. I played softball, so definitely had teammates who threw up before games. I never got that nervous. However, I think about like if I were a football player and I ever played in like the Super Bowl or something like that, I would be so nervous. I probably would throw up before a game like that. But before every game, like you have a ritual to throw up before every game. Otherwise, if you don't, you're gonna dry heave all game. I mean, that's like, that's crazy.
That is weird. But if it works for him, I have no questions. Definitely weird. I heard him in an interview last year. I think he said day games he doesn't eat before, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he eats night games. I think he eats breakfast and that's it.
What I don't want to know though, are you brushing your teeth after you throw up? Otherwise that acid's just sitting on your teeth.
Oh, grossing me out right now.
I used to live with dental hygienists, so I'm just like, your teeth, oh my God, like you got acid on your teeth.
No, you're right. It's gonna ruin your teeth.
Do some mouthwash at least.
Yeah, maybe I bet you he does. No way. He doesn't.
That would be my next question, because they always talk about the throwing up. It's like, okay, well, here's the burning question. Are you brushing your teeth?
Burning question. That is the burning question. Are you brushing your teeth? I sure hope so. I mean, if it works, whatever. He's winning.
Yeah.
5-1. Yeah.
Apparently a couple other players like and him, they're all like throwing up together at the same time.
Damn. I bet you it's Stefan Diggs. No, it's not Stefan. I take that back.
Yeah. He doesn't strike me as, I mean, maybe he does. Maybe that's why he's so like kind of calm and collected, you know?
Yeah.
But he doesn't strike me as somebody that like has to do that.
Yeah. I agree.
I know. Craziness.
Ravens, Browns. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it went in some kind of overtime, just the way the Ravens have been playing. Defense is starting to jive. I'm going to give a low score. I'm going to say 2017 Ravens. Maybe overtime field goal by Justin Tucker.
There you go.
Steelers play on Sunday Night Football, correct?
Yes, we play the Dolphins.
That's Dolphins. Yeah, Tua's first game back since his concussion.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
possibly coming back. Yeah, whatever that protocol is. Not sure. Thank you.
How many roughing the passer calls do you think we're going to get on Sunday or Sunday night in that game?
True.
In particular?
Good call.
I'm going to say at least 3.
3. Those are 15-yard penalties, right? Wow.
And first down, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Automatic first down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
I think the Steelers, with Tua, the Steelers lose.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think Steelers lose.
It's like we don't know who's playing it. For everybody, we are recording on a Wednesday morning / early afternoon for the East Coast folks. So we have no idea exactly who's playing it. So if Tua, he's preparing to be the starter.
Yeah.
If he starts, the Dolphins might be in good shape.
Yeah.
If not, they might not be in such great shape. Same thing with the Steelers.
Right. I think the Dolphins kind of want to come back because of their loss last week. They have a little chip on their shoulder because they played sloppy too. Couldn't catch anything. Defense did not look great. Having their leader back, I think, will definitely give them motivation to win on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Prime time.
O-line's going to be hard pressed to protect Tua for sure.
For sure. Different. Yeah, for sure. Different. And, I wouldn't be surprised if they added, more blocking for him, running back.
Right. Bring another fullback or something like that.
Yeah. Running back, maybe tight end, more blocking.
Yeah. Go with like 12 personnel or something, have 2 tight ends in there, including everybody that's on the line.
Yeah. Give him some extra safety around there. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, hold up. I want to give my Ravens prediction because I think that they're bad. I hate the Ravens, but I think they're going to mollywop the Browns. I think it's going to be a landslide victory, personally.
I hope so.
Yeah. I want you feeling good coming in next week.
Oh, do you?
See, I like the Ravens losing, but I like you. So it's like, I want you to feel good.
That's so nice of you, but I still want the Steelers to lose. I want you to kind of come in like kind of crappy. So wrapping up. Hey, you guys had a nice win. Kenny Pickett got your rookie quarterback had his first passing touchdown at home.
Then he got a concussion. So then I'm
against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Time for you guys to lose on Sunday Night Football. I'm gonna be sitting pretty.
Dang, I'm excited. And look back at my little letter with my little Steelers thing. We're gonna
out weird.
I know.
Anyways,
sadness. Oh well.
Anyways, I'm Gabby DePaula with Drew Jones, and that is your Week 7 Queens of the North episode.
Peace be with you.